The amalgamation of Nigeria. Before the amalgamation of Nigeria in 1914, the area that is now known as Nigeria was divided into two main protectorates, the Northern Protectorate and the Southern Protectorate. The Northern Protectorate was established by the British in 1900 and covered an area that roughly corresponds to the northern region of modern-day Nigeria. The British established indirect rule in the region, using traditional rulers and other local leaders to govern on their behalf. The British also established a system of district officers to oversee the administration of the region. On the other hand, the Southern Protectorate was established in 1906 and covered the coastal regions of modern-day Nigeria, including what is now known as the Niger Delta. The British also implemented an indirect rule in the region, but there were more direct British interventions in the region due to the economic importance of the region for trade and commerce. In both the Northern and Southern Protectorates, the British exercised control through a combination of force and diplomacy. They also implemented policies that favored British economic interests, such as the export of cash crops like palm oil and granules. Overall, before the amalgamation of Nigeria, the country was governed as a collection of separate and distinct protectorates, each with its own unique system of administration and governance, but all ultimately under the control of the British colonial authorities. The amalgamation of Nigeria, therefore, refers to the process by which the British government merged Nigeria's northern and southern protectorates in 1914 to form a single administrative entity known as the Colony and Protectorate of Nigeria. This was done for administrative convenience and to make it easier for the British to control and exploit the resources of the region. The amalgamation was proposed by Lord Frederick LUGARD, who was the Governor General of both protectorates at the time. The merger was not without its challenges, as the two regions had different cultures, languages, and religions. However, the British government pushed through with the amalgamation, despite opposition from some Nigerians who felt that it would erode their cultural identity and autonomy. The amalgamation of Nigeria laid the foundation for the country's modern-day borders, which have remained largely unchanged since then. However, it also created many of the ethnic and religious tensions that continue to plague the country to this day. These tensions have been exacerbated by political, economic, and social factors, leading to numerous conflicts and periods of instability throughout Nigeria's history. What then were the reasons for and against the amalgamation of Nigeria? My YouTube friends, if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification bell. The amalgamation of Nigeria was a controversial decision at the time, and there were both reasons for and against the merger of the Northern and Southern Protectorates into a single entity. Here are some of the main reasons that were put forward for and against the amalgamation. 1. Economic efficiency. One of the main reasons for the amalgamation was to achieve greater economic efficiency. The Southern and Northern Protectorates had separate economies with different currencies, trade policies, and administrative systems. The British colonial government believed that by merging the two territories, they will create a more unified and efficient economic system. 2. administrative convenience. Another reason for the amalgamation was administrative convenience. It was argued that by creating a single administrative unit, the British will better control and govern the territory. This was especially important at a time when there were increasing tensions and conflicts between the different ethnic groups in Nigeria. 3. Strategic considerations. The amalgamation was also seen as a way to enhance British strategic interests in the region. By creating a larger, more unified territory, the British believed that they could better protect their interests against rival European powers such as Germany and France. What then were the reasons against the amalgamation? 1. Cultural and ethnic differences. One of the main arguments against the amalgamation was that the northern and southern protectorates had very different cultural and ethnic backgrounds. The south was home to many different ethnic groups, each with its own distinct language, culture, and traditions. The north, on the other hand, was predominantly Muslim and had a more homogeneous population. Many people believe that these differences will make it difficult to create a unified nation. 2. Loss of autonomy. Another argument against the amalgamation was that it would lead to a loss of autonomy for the individual protectorates. The southern and northern protectorates had their own distinct political systems and administrative structures, and many people feared that these would be subsumed into a larger, more centralized government. 3. Lack of consultation. Finally, many people opposed the amalgamation because they felt that it was imposed on them without their consent. There was very little consultation with the local people, and the decision to merge the two protectorates was made primarily for strategic and administrative reasons. The question then arises, was there a referendum or voice vote in the parliament to get the approval? The decision to merge the northern and southern protectorates into a single entity was made by the British colonial government without any input from the local population or their representatives. The decision was announced in January 1914 by Lord Frederick LUGARD, who was the Governor General of both protectorates at the time. It is worth noting that the concept of a referendum or public vote was not commonly practiced during the colonial era, as the colonial powers had complete control over the political systems and decision-making processes in their territories. In the case of Nigeria, the British colonial government had the final say over all major decisions, including the decision to amalgamate the northern and southern protectorates. Overall, the amalgamation of Nigeria was a contentious issue at the time, and its legacy continues to be debated today. While the merger of the northern and southern protectorates created a single unified nation, it also led to a range of cultural, ethnic, and political tensions that continue to shape the country to this day. My YouTube friends, thank you for listening. Let us have your comments, like, and share this video. Thank you.